Last season, we had a pretty interesting trip down at the Florida Keys. It was right after the big hurricane came through. We weren't really sure what to expect. A lot of places, businesses, shops were taken out by the hurricane. On top of that, we didn't know what the ocean floor was going to be like, if our holes were going to be filled in with sand, things like that. So it was a pretty interesting year. Between that and some mechanical issues and some rough scouting weather, it made for a fun trip. But stay tuned and we're going to show you how we did our lobster season, troubleshooted, whatever it is, how we fixed our mechanical issues, and how we catch some lobsters. So stay tuned. The first thing we wanted to do was go scouting. You see, scouting is really important to your success as a lobster catcher. Scouting lets you go and see what's out there. One, you might pick up some new lobster holes, which is good. Two, you're going to figure out which of your holes are still around, make sure no storms fill them in like any of the small ledges or anything. Three, you'll know where the lobster are at. So on opening morning, you can start at your best holes and get there first, right? There's one hole, it's got 20 keeper lobster in it. The other hole, it's got 5. Well, you want to get on that 20 first, catch your lobster, and then move on. If someone else gets to the 5, well, it's not that big a deal. But if they get your 20, well, now you gotta redo your whole plan. Makes it a hassle. Think there are a lot of places covered up, or what's the?
We didn't see a lot of stuff last time, did we?
We were checking out the other area. Looked like the storms filled in most of the ledges and holes in that area anyway.
Did y'all go into the cut any?
Just for a minute. I was just mainly looking for the big holes, see if there's a grouper there or something.
Kind of surprised the Gulf is as clear as it's been.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see how it looks now. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what it looks like now. Because we had that west wind, northwest wind yesterday, so I don't know if the cloud leaves the water on.
It's pretty windy now. I mean, what's it blowing?
It's blowing at a southwest right now. Y'all get the big one?
A little choppy out there. We were getting a late start. We didn't even get a line wet.
Wow.
Choppy out there.
Okay, thanks.
The problem with scouting today is it's windy. Pretty rough out there. So what we decided to do was run the back way. See, if the wind's blowing out of the southwest, kind of south, you can go around on the backside of the islands through the Gulf and use the islands as a shield, which is what we did. And it makes the ride much nicer. Once we got down a ways, you just find one of the bridges where you can cross under, and you take less of a beating. We get to our spots and start looking. Another advantage to scouting is it lets you kind of do like a dress rehearsal, right? Lets you determine if any of your gear is broken. Maybe you only lobster once a year, you haven't tested your snorkel gear. So it's a good practice for that. It also tells you if you forgot to put something on the boat or forgot to bring it down with you. In our case, we forgot our marker jug. So we had to MacGyver one. We used a chocolate milk jug, some fishing line, some dive weights, and yep, that was pretty much it. But hey, we successfully made a marker jug on the fly. There didn't seem to be as many as we've seen in years past, so that wasn't quite good news that we want to hear, but what was good is that most of our spots weren't filled in, so all of our ledges were intact, looked good. They did have some lobster on it, so that was a good sign. Helped us figure things out. We don't normally lobster a lot in the Gulf, but we checked some of our numbers. Wasn't real good over there, and we found another issue with the Gulf this year in particular, and that was the seaweed, the grass, all that stuff floating in the water. Don't think of it much, but when you start pulling divers through it, the divers will tell you that seaweed running across their body, it's kind of scratchy, it's a pain. You get big clumps, get caught in your snorkel. It's not really fun. You're definitely going to want to wear a rash guard if that's a problem, and that can be a problem in the Atlantic too. Sometimes it's flowing from the Gulf to the Atlantic, so you got to watch for that. So if it is an issue, wear a rash guard, and that'll make it a little better. Down the Keys, we're doing some fun stuff, fishing, and I wanted to do some trolling test some stuff I do for some other videos. So we're out in the Gulf kind of trolling around, and when we do, all of a sudden our steering locks up. My dad's like, I can't turn the boat. I'm like, oh dang, what's going on? Quickly, you know, stop where we are, can't turn, throw out the anchor so we're not drifting. And we're not too far out, so that's good. And we start trying to figure it out, you know, why is it not turning? Can't get the steering wheel to move. Try to turn now, I want to see if it leaks. Can you tell if it's no fluid? Because I mean, I could feel it on that, you know, that little fiberglass piece inside the console.
You feel what?
Like I could feel oil there where it was leaking or dripping or something.
I mean, we can try to put fluid in it. It's like it's locked all the way over on this side, and I don't know what would cause it to go all the way over.
Remember one time it got real clogged up? We had to take that steering wheel off. First we're like, maybe it's the motor, something back down the hydraulic. You know, maybe we're out of fluid. But check the fluid, it was fine. We had plenty. Kind of checked the back, it seemed okay.
I think.
So we're like, dang, this is an issue. Lobster season's the next morning. Like, I don't know, maybe 12 hours away. Barely, it's really tough. I can't really get the steering wheel to turn.
It's like there's air on that one side, but we don't have adjustable wrench here nowhere, do we?
So we unhooked the hydraulic from the tie bar connecting the motors, and we can actually push the motor side to side. So we know it wasn't something on the motors that was causing it to, you know, hold up. We called our towboat company, you know, had them come get us, but it was going to take them an hour to get to us. So we're like, well, let's keep troubleshooting. Okay. I was just calling because I needed a tow in. We are anchored. Okay, so it's north, 24, 45. Our steering went out. We can't get the motors, it's like locked up or something.
Let's see, this is turning okay, Jeremy.
Well, it wasn't earlier. Did you do something?
Hang on, Chris.
Is that top moving back there?
Yeah, it's moving.
Alright, put that thing back on.
Okay, you're gonna have to move the
Something that fluid again.
What did we do different?
I don't know. Like you said, it might have been locked up here. I don't know.
You put the nut and bolt thing on it.
And I don't know how, I mean, I got it as tight as I could with those pliers, but it's probably not as tight as it could.
Maybe it got locked, maybe the lock wasn't in here, maybe it was in the steering wheel.
I'm thinking it's, yeah, in the steering wheel.
Clean it up.
Let's do a few laps, because I hate to go through vodka cutting it. Let's do like a few circles.
Is it moving back there?
Yeah.
We got movement.
Is it solid or is it skipping?
Are you going all the way?
I haven't yet.
Okay, now I'm just checking.
I want to push her a look right now.
Our steering wheel tilts. You know, you can adjust the angle. And when he adjusted it to a different angle, he could get his steering back. So I don't know if something locked up, maybe we moved it out of place and to a place that it just didn't like. You know, it only worked in certain spots maybe for whatever reason. But when we put it back into a certain position, we had steering again. Hooked everything back up, did a little test drive. It worked, seemed to be running good. Canceled the towboat, and thankfully we're okay.
Feel better than it did earlier?
Yeah, scary thing though is, you know, when you do nothing to fix it.
Well,
I mean, you know,
I had tilted that up, and that might have been what caused our issue.
Well, I remember when you did it, I saw it really shake, and I thought, ooh, that's supposed to do that.
I think the tilt of the steering wheel might have.
Pinched it off or something.
It might have.
You know, when you're out there, stuff happens on your boat. Be ready to troubleshoot it. You know, we had tools on the boat so we could take things apart. Kind of used our heads, you know, thinking about the basic things of steering. You know, in our case, hydraulic. Does it have fluid? Is it a leaking fluid? Is a hose cracked? Did something come off? You know, check those simple things first. Usually it's something simple like that. Luckily, our mechanical skills are better than our pinfish trap abilities. Stack them. We get back to the dock and we unload all of our fishing stuff, put in strictly lobster gear, nets, tickle sticks, ropes, makeshift marker jug, all our fins, mask, snorkel, tank gear, everything we'll need for a successful lobster season. We want to be sitting on go, so when we wake up, we can get to the boat, take off. Morning comes, we wake up early, we get on the boat, head out at dark. All right guys, a little breezy, but it is lobster morning.
Y'all grab Dad's boots. Please tell me to do it. Where are your boots, Johnny?
That's where most of it was. The bottom of the bin.
As soon as it's first legal light, we're getting in the water. Now check the sunrise and all that stuff, but usually legal light, it's still kind of dark out. So we have flashlights and stuff and some underwater boat lights that we turn on to help our divers out. Especially looking back into the ledge, it can be pretty tough. We kind of pull around the spots that we like, pulling divers. You know, when they find a good spot, they'll let go and we'll kind of hang with them. You know, be sure to watch out for your, divers, especially in many seasons. So many boats are coming and going. And just keep an eye on them and stay close, okay? Don't do anything crazy, don't get too greedy, nothing like that.
All right, let me back off of you.
Another thing that's funny, sometimes when you think you've worked an area good, my dad and brother will be like, go to another spot. We've got all these. And we'll start going, but then one of them will let go, right? And they'll catch a lobster, which is good. And I'll salute back and get them, and they're like the other one's like, what are we doing? I'm like, well, you caught a lobster, you're gonna pick it up, and then we'll move on. So we'll start moving on again, then another one will drop off. And they keep dropping off, and it's like, but at the same time, they're like, hey, why are we still in the same spot? We need to move on. I'm like, well, you're catching lobster. You want to catch lobster, or you want to move to a different spot? So I just want to catch lobster.
Where's the different spot?
I'm going one, but you drop off before I can get you there. I'm gonna try to leave the hole they catch more lobster. Where you want to go? To another hole?
To the other number.
Yeah, but wasn't there a hole kind of closer in?
Yeah, I've been trying to get you up to it.
Jimmy, there in front of this marker.
Yeah.
And like I said, look like there's some big ones on there too.
You want to go back over there? Or back here? You don't want to go over there?
I'm gonna take you over there.
Yeah.
But day one went well. We caught our lobster, worked a couple different areas, so that was good.
So what was the deal with the tickle sticks?
Well, I had the flashlight, the net, and the tickle stick in my hand, and I was able to, and a lobster, and I was able to come up with 3 out of 4. But I did find one later, so it was.
How many did you lose?
What's that?
How many did you lose?
2. I found one, so I'm -1.
So the current was pretty bad?
Yeah, it was kicking it. I didn't think it was gonna be that bad, but
Say, hey, you're late. We got them.
yeah, ain't no
Good
more.
luck. Good luck, bro.
They're all done, right?
Yeah.
So what happened there at the end when the one guy, you looked up out of your boat and you seen the guy like on your elbows almost?
Yeah, I don't know. When did he come up?
I don't know. He slipped up from the back way because when I turned around and looked, man, him and 3 divers behind him
Yeah.
was like right there, and he was looking at our marker. Like I think he wanted me to move out of the way so he could get over to the marker. That's the spot, which is true. It was the spot, but
He's like looking at our flag. I love that symbol, bro, right?
Yeah. What's that thing for right there? So was the current bad for you or not too bad?
It wasn't slack like I heard it was gonna be. Well, wait, if it's supposed to be slack at 10:30, and if it takes 3 hours to come in and like 9 hours to go out,
and then you take it to the highest power, and then it's what? It averages out to 6 hours and 15 minutes or what?
Right, yeah, so I don't know how we missed that.
I must have read that. I must have got bad information on the way or something.
But that was good. Our first spot worked pretty well.
Yeah, I was beginning to wonder. I was coming up with a lot of shorts at the beginning with. I couldn't get my adjustments right.
So, what was the deal? Because like y'all kept yelling at me, go to a different spot, and every time I try to go to a different spot, you drop off and catch a keeper lobster. I'm confused. Why were y'all so anxious to get away from there?
Well, I think
your words, please. It's pretty simple. When you take like 20 minutes to find a spot that you had clearly marked. I wasn't even trying to go back there. I was trying to go to the next spot, but I had to drive through there to get there.
And every time you get by there, boom, one of us is
When I was dropping off at that point, they were just like single holes. It wasn't a cruel structure.
Yeah, that's what it was.
One or two.
I seen a couple just out walking.
Yeah, that was one of them. Well, it was still pretty dark. I mean, it might have been cloudy last night.
Yeah. I was going on, I was like, dang. I thought he might have been a throwback, but he looked big, and I went down there and he kept, so. I guess he...
I mean, we could have made some improvements in some areas all around. We'll buckle down for day 2, right?
Yeah.
Right, I won't drop my stick tomorrow. I'll do everything else the same.
Think we'll ever find those again, or they'll probably get them back there one day.
As I heard that one guy say several years ago when he was struggling, he's got to get his stick together.
Yeah.
I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
Get his sticks together.
Yeah, something like that.
Caught a lobster, headed back, cleaned them out, and relaxed a little that evening. Day 2. Day 2 is always harder. Always has been for us anyways. Mainly just because, well, now there's a lot less lobster. You know, they will come back to their ledges and holes, so don't be afraid to go back to the same spots. But if it's a really bright moon, like a full moon or something, they don't walk around and shuffle as much, so there won't be as many in your spots.
Alright guys, we just gotta go. Get 24 lobster. And then you know what? We're gonna have pancakes. Ooh, pancakes. All you can pancakes. I don't know about that. Good tradition. We do it fast. Everyone will still be lobster and we'll have all the pancakes to ourselves. That's good motivation. Close the restaurant. We also come back and won't be anything. That's right. What are you doing? On 3.
We had to do more diving with the tanks, hit some of our deeper spots that we didn't have to go before, so that helped. But it was certainly harder this year.
Dragging the jug. It's kind of like Jaws. He can't go down, not with 3. We'll just see the jug pop up and we'll know where he's at. Like a bell on a cow.
But a big thing about lobstering, day 1 or day 2, is working together as a team. And I think that's why we do so well. We've all done this with each other for so many years that we know what to do. It's kind of natural. Okay, if you do this, then I'll do that. You know, throwing ropes out, bringing them in, avoiding ropes getting caught in the motor. Now that does still happen, but when you do that less, well, you can focus more time on the lobstering. If you get in the water quick and get out quick, well, then you're able to stay on the spot longer. Current will be running, and I'll see people who are like getting in the boat and they're like stopping, they want to get their hair wet, you know, want to kind of chill, cool off, and by that point, you know, your boat's just drifting back, and it takes time to slowly pull your guys back to the good spots. So little things like that will eat up your time. When we get in the boat, it's boom, quick, hand them this, take off a fin, get in with one fin on and your mask, and then take all your stuff once the boat guy can go again and you're safely in the boat. So getting in, getting out quick, shuffling nets, all those things really add up to make you successful lobster hunter. Other than that, it's just watching for them. Look for those antennas. You know, as you do it more and more, build up those numbers, have the marker jugs ready to mark, and just work together and have fun. That's all it is.
That was good. I mean, we got our limit pretty quick. Got in that one area. You know, I thought we'd have to go to a couple of our spots. You know, with it being close to the full moon, I thought they would have not moved as much, but they seem to have come back.
Yeah, sometimes I think with all the people down there, they stir them up, and which is good. And then they're out in the grass at night; they won't find them, you know, holes. So I think that's how it works out for us.
Yeah. Well, it was a successful season, right?
It was good. It was good. Didn't take it near as long. Current, had the current both mornings, so I was hoping we'd beat that, but we were off of it about an hour today. It just started running when we got there. And see, the type of lobster we do, current is everything. You know, around the bridges and the cuts and all.
Yeah.
But that's why the lobster are there too, because that flow keeps them moving and replenishing the holes.
Some
It's time to go
pancakes.
eat. We've been promising ourselves pancakes. We're going to go to, what, Island Tiki Bar or whatever.
We'll go
place
somewhere.
is. I'll go somewhere and eat.
Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you guys learned some stuff. Probably can understand the struggles of boating mishaps, forgetting things, and dealing with weather. But it happens to all of us, and you can still be successful and have a great time out on the water with your family. Thanks for watching the video. If you guys got any questions about any of the gear we use or how we do it, we've got links in the description, more details, and just feel free to comment below. So, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.